So, glad you're back with me today. I'm going to show you household products that you can use to get rid of weeds and moss. First one we'll talk about is weeds. So, I've got a 2-gallon hand pump sprayer here. First thing I'm going to do is put some white vinegar. Now, I bought this stuff at Walmart, and 2 gallons of white vinegar, 2 cups of salt, 1 pound of baking soda, and 1 small 7.5 ounce of Dawn dish soap. Cost me $9.66. Now compare that against the prices that I'll show you from the herbicides. Anywhere between $27 and $45 for 1.3 gallons of herbicide. I mean, that's really high. You don't need to spend that much money. You can do 3 of these applications with 2 gallons for a lot less money, 2/3 less money. So I'm standing in Walmart, and I'm going to show you what the cost of some of this stuff is that people put on their yards, and then I'll show you the cost of the stuff that I do put on my yard. This is Moss Out. This is Roundup Ready to Use Weed Grass Killer. It's only 1 1/3 gallons, and it's $45. That doesn't go very far, folks. This is Weed and Grass Killer. It's 1.3 gallons, and it's $19. That doesn't include tax. So this is the fertilizer section. I don't know if you've seen lately how much fertilizer has gone up, but it's incredible. This is a 34-pound bag of Turf Builder, $87. This is a 40-pound bag of Scott's Turf Builder for $68. And this is Walmart. You're not going to find it much cheaper anywhere else. So I put 1 gallon of vinegar in. I put 1 cup of salt. And then I put 1 tablespoon of Dawn dish soap. I'm just going to give it a long squirt. And that acts as a surfactant to help the salt and the vinegar attach to the plants so that it's more effective. So then you close up your container and you shake it real well. You got to get that salt mixed up in there. Now, tip number 1, put your soap in last. Otherwise, as you're pouring the vinegar in, it'll suds up on you. So that's the chemical that we use to get rid of the weeds around the edges of the yard and around the fence lines and my patio decks and stuff like that. And in the previous video, I showed you how effective that was. Well, now we're gonna spray an area with weeds and come back in a week and show you just how effective this was. Sometimes, depending on the thickness of the weeds and the type of weed, it may take 2 applications to actually kill it. You don't want to put this on your grass unless you want to kill your grass. So I use it around the edges of my flower beds, around the edges of my house and my patio decks, on my driveways, on my brick and concrete areas where I've got weeds growing up. That kind of area is what I use this on. So let's pump it up, and I'll show you where we're going to spray and how it's going to work. So I'm just spraying these over here as a test. It's for this video, for this purpose. It's on the side of my yard, on the house. I've got a lot of rock over here for an extra. We'll come back in a week and we'll take a look at that area and see how well it did. So it's only been 3 days since I treated this area with vinegar, salt, and soap, and you can see the plants are already dying back and the grass is already drying back. I took that solution of vinegar, soap, and salt, and I had some extra left over. So I came around to show you exactly what it does if you use it on your yard. It's been 3 days since I applied it, and you can see it has killed the weeds in 3 days. And when you overspray just a little bit, it'll kill your grass too. So if you're okay with that, you can get rid of weeds in your yard. Just know that it'll be next season before the grass grows back in that area. It is very effective. Hope this helps you make a good decision and to not use chemicals on your yard around the water. You have a great day. Well, come back out here on day 5, and my kind neighbor has decided to mow his location and mine up to my house. So what I sprayed and was going to show you is gone. At day 3 you could see how it was dying back, and it would have killed it in 7 days. Maybe a little bit longer, or it might have required one more treatment with the length of grass as it was, and that's probably why my neighbor mowed it for me, because the grass was getting long. Anyway, you saw what it was at 3 days. It works effectively, as you could see, with the weeds in the yard. Give it a try. Don't use chemicals. Use vinegar, salt, and soap on your weeds in your gravel areas, your concrete areas, your walkways, your driveways, along the edges, and cut down on the use of chemicals. We would all appreciate it, for those of us that live on the lake. Thank you. So, tip number 2. When you get done, wash out your equipment thoroughly. If you don't wash it out thoroughly, you're going to have a sprayer that won't work, because the vinegar and the salt will eat up your seals, your gaskets. So every piece of equipment has gaskets and seals in it that make this thing work. So you have to make sure that you get all of that out. So we're gonna, don't dump it out on your grass, dump it out in an area where you've got weeds, or you don't want weeds to grow. Now just washing the container out is not enough. You gotta pump it up, and you got to spray it out through your hose, through your spray wand, to get all of that salt and vinegar out of there, because there's gaskets in there too. Now you don't have to fill it up all the way. I fill mine up about a third of the way. And on my last fill, I take and I squirt some Dawn dish soap in there. That helps clean it up. Keep it clean. Make sure you pump it through your spray nozzle too. Clean out everything. Tip number 3. After you put the soap in, you clean it out through your nozzle and your tank. You're going to have to rinse your tank out several times to get rid of the soap in there. Make sure you do that. That's it for killing the weeds around your house. Tip number 4, when using vinegar and salt and soap in a solution to kill your weeds. Do it on a warm day. It's 77 degrees here right now. When I did my perimeter, I did it 3 weeks ago when we hit the 90s on that weekend. Right now it's going to hit about 90 today, and it's not going to be raining for a couple days. You don't want any moisture to come on to the area that you just treated with this stuff, otherwise it'll wash it away. Like I said, it's environmentally friendly. The soap helps adhere it to the weeds. The vinegar and the salt actually do the hard work, and it washes off real easy. That's why it's environmentally friendly and can be used around lakes and homes on lakes. So again, tip number 4, do it on a warm day where you're not going to have any moisture for at least 24 to 48 hours, and then you'll be much more effective. Thank you.